Amidst the quiet dawn of the steppe, the atmosphere suddenly became tense as the cobra bared its neck, signaling a challenge to the strong in the sky. And then the shadow of the eagle swooped down, opening the door to a fierce confrontation between earth and sky. Dust flew everywhere. The fan blades were in disarray. The snake's body was twisting. Each peck and each swipe carried the weight of survival instinct. The two rushed into each other in a dance of speed, where the slightest mistake could cost them their lives. The final sweep of its wings tore through the air, ending the fierce battle. The snake retreated into the grass, while the eagle stood tall in the golden sunlight, a symbol of strength and victory in the wild. The morning mist was thick in the deep forest. Rays of sunlight filtered through the foliage and shone on vigilant eyes. There, a small predator awaited its fate as the shadow of the Snake King slithered out from the darkness. Speed, instinct, and determination, the mongoose lunged at every blow, avoiding every fatal blow. The King Cobra twisted its body in response, each movement a knife edge gliding across the line between life and death. After the fierce blows, both stopped in the heavy breath of the green forest. The sunset fell, erasing all traces of the battle. Leaving only the quiet rhythm of life, the balance was reborn. Between the damp mist and the sunlight filtering through the canopy, the green forest seemed to hold its breath. The giant Komodo stepped out from the shadows, each step heavy, exuding a primal power. But in the dark roots of the tree, the shadow of a giant python moved, signaling the inevitable encounter. The attack echoed like thunder in the forest. Komodo bit hard, python twisted in response. Mud flew, roots cracked, both of their breaths mingled with the hot mist. This was not just a battle, but a clash of force and pure instinct of nature. The python dragged Komodo through the wet jungle mud, squeezing with its last gasps. But the giant rose, claws lashing out in fury, butting its opponent to the ground. When the dust settled, Komodo stood in the jungle light, the sole survivor of the brutal fight. In the middle of the golden grassland, two contrasting figures met. The cobra stretched its hood. The porcupine raised its spines. The air seemed frozen. Only the sound of wind and breathing remained, waiting for the first attack to break the silence. The snake lunged like lightning, venom flashing in the sunlight. But the porcupine spun and counterattacked, its spines flashing with light. Dust swirled around the two creatures, each collision a suffocating struggle for survival. Amidst the swirling yellow dust, the porcupine charged forward and counterattacked fiercely, each gorse shaking the ground. The cobra spun around and counterattacked, its body lashing out in the blazing sun. The final impact echoed, the dust billowed and then cleared. The snake quietly retreated. The porcupine stood firm in the grassland, a symbol of endurance and wild survival instinct. quiet morning, a snake's shadow crept through the dry grass, its tongue flicking as if measuring the wind. But from above, the ruler of the sky had already noticed. The moment their eyes met, the steppe seemed to hold its breath before the storm of instinct that was about to erupt. Fangs and claws clashed in the blazing sunlight. Every kick, every peck was an uncompromising challenge. Dust flew, light swirled around the two predators, neither willing to back down in a fierce dance of survival between the parched earth and sky. The battle reached its climax. The final collision exploded in light and dust. When the dust cleared, only heavy breathing and silence prevailed. Nature closed in, but the echoes of strength and pride still echoed across the endless gold.